Good afternoon, folks. Ray Bissett coming at you here at the Firm U, my personal training studio. I'm here with an interesting subject today. I'm with a client, Kim, who came to me, how long ago was it? About
6 weeks.
6 weeks ago. And I offer, among other services, not just personal training, but also I offer blood test, hormonal balance, and my blood tests and the panels are much more comprehensive than you would get at your normal doctor's office. That's covered by insurance. Mine's a cash-based because a lot of the things that I test for are not covered by insurance. And the reason is that it's preventive health care. In other words, it's preventive of you getting a disease. It's preventing things that you don't have to have a condition for before a doctor gets the permission to put a billing code down. I just test for everything to knock it out of the park. I have a good contract with a partner that in LabCorp. You get your blood drawn. I have a very good price, so it's not that expensive. It really isn't. And I'm running a special right now, so anybody watching this video can go ahead and take advantage of getting a blood test, a true blood test. As a matter of fact, what I test for is not only your glucose, which is what doctors look for. They look for that all the time. That's a measurement for sugar. But also I look at liver function, kidney function, CBC, which is your blood, white blood cells, red blood cells, things that your doctor does too. But also look for testosterone levels, A1C, which is a measurement of glucose or sugar over a 3-month period. I also look for DHEA, which is a precursor for testosterone, your TSH, which is a thyroid stimulating hormone, estradiol, T4, T3, reverse T3, that's all functions of your thyroid, vitamin D, C-reactive protein, which is a marker for inflammation, progesterone, which is another hormone, female hormone, men have it too. Insulin. Number one cause of most people that have problems is insulin. They have too high of insulin in their blood. When you have high insulin, you become insulin resistant. And what that does is it disables you. It disables you for the process of burning fat. You cannot burn fat when you have high levels of insulin. It's physiologically impossible. And most of y'all out there that can't figure this out, it's because you haven't taken a blood test. I'm telling you, this blood test tells all. Not only that, 3 months from now, we're going to do another blood test and see the progress she has made through the diet and exercise. That is the number one medication in the world. And the way these viruses are going on today and all other conditions of the world is caused by inflammation. Inflammation is the number one. That C-reactive protein, CRP, is what I look for first, or one of the first things I look at. It's one of the major things. And it's a good thing that we did do a blood test with Kim. At first you were a little apprehensive, right?
A little bit.
Yeah, a little bit, okay. But we went with the blood test anyway. And when it came back, there were some things that were, what's nice about this blood test is that everything's fixable. It can be fixable if it's caught in time. Her glucose was good, which is the measurement for sugar like we talked about. Liver functions were good. We're okay to talk about this, right? Okay. White blood cells were a little bit high, so that's a little, it could have been a cold, could have been something going on there, but nothing major. It wasn't really high. Her blood CBC looked pretty good too. Let me put my age on here. A1C was 5.8. Okay, that is anything over 5.6 is the first stage of prediabetes. So we found that out. So that's an issue right there. But with weight training, the weight training will take care of that part. Her DHEA was pretty high. That's probably the highest I've seen in a woman. That's kind of a little unexplainable there. But I also test for cortisol. Okay, cortisol, if cortisol is high, normally your thyroid function is going to be sluggish. Remember the T stands for thyroid, the 3 or the 4 or 1 or 2 stands for molecules of iodine. Her reverse T3 was fine. Vitamin D was very low, 14.5. That's for your immune system. Now you talk about people taking vitamin C and things like that, but vitamin D is vital. It's vital for your immune system. If you want to not catch a virus, you need your immune system to be in top shape, top condition. You know, I stocked up on vitamin D as soon as I heard about the viruses that are going around. And I have a lot of vitamin D, and I take a lot of vitamin D because of that. You know, it's one of your best defenses out there. Okay, but the biggest thing that really threw a red flag was Kim's C-reactive protein. And I've only seen it one level higher than this before. And I didn't want to shock her, scare her or anything. So I said, you know, maybe you might want to take this blood test to your doctor. And she did. I'm not a doctor by any means. I've seen hundreds of these, and I go over these, and I use them as a health care, not sick care, health care help for help. You know, so I use this just as a here's a before, here's an after, here's a marker, just like getting on the scale, a bioimpedance scale, and getting off the scale and seeing your body fat go down, your fat weight go down, your muscle weight go up or stay the same. Okay, but hers was up there. So, and I've only seen it one higher than that. And the lady that I caught on the C-reactive protein, they did a body scan at a hospital on her, and they found a tumor in her nasal cavity. And that was the reason why her C-reactive protein was so high. And then Kim here comes back, and she goes to a doctor, and they went to a cardiologist. Is that correct?
Yeah.
And then the cardiologist, what'd they do?
I did a stress test and ultrasound on my heart and all that, and found blockages.
Okay, so, and that was the cause. Inflammation is the C-reactive protein. The inflammation is a clotting factor for inflammation is the number one reason for diseases that we have or conditions that we have. You know, when you eat food that they can't digest, that's inflammation. That needs to be taken care of. And I can do this. I can help you with this. So you can live a lot. I mean, I'm 60 years old, for crying out loud. Okay? And I don't show any signs of slowing down. Okay? And if you follow my program, you'll be just like that. But anyway, so what did they end up doing?
I got stents put in to open up the blockages, and I feel like you saved my life, Ray, because I probably wouldn't have found this in time because I didn't feel bad.
It's pretty powerful.
And I also want people to know that you did not try to force me to do the blood work or anything. This was my decision. You're not a pushy person. Maybe you should be a little more pushy.
I'd like to be, but everybody has a choice. And,
Right.
and that's what I'm all about, too, is giving choices. Because if you have choices, you know, a lot of times you go to a doctor's office, they see 40 people a day. You know, they don't know you from, you know, you think that they know you, but they don't know you. They see people in and out. I mean, have you ever gone to a doctor's office and not seen more people? No, there's not less people, there's more people. They schedule the same hours. Anyway, so much for doctors. So they did an angiogram.
Yes.
And they did that through your wrist, correct?
Yes.
And what that is a scope that goes through your arteries and through into your right atrium, I believe, left atrium, right ventricle, left ventricle, and they're looking for clots. And they found it. And in the camera, and you can watch this, right? You watched it, or did you watch it? Okay.
Yes.
You can watch this an angiogram. You're kind of like in La La Land. You're not really out, so you're kind of awake. And when they go through that, they can actually put a stent in. And they put a stent in you.
Yes.
2 of them, right?
Yes.
And that stent opens up the blood vessels so that you don't stroke out.
Right.
So there could have been a good chance, you know. It's a good thing that you walk through that door because you never know.
I
Okay?
agree.
You know, so anyway, so I'm just signing out. I just wanted to make this story be known out there that, you know, I'm all about health care, not sick care, not I don't care. Okay? Yeah, it's cash based, but I cover my bases and I get the job done. And I go much more in depth than any other blood test that I've known. And it's not that expensive. You know, some people say they can't afford me, right?
Right.
Others say they can't afford not to be with me. So on that note, my website is thefirmu.com. My name is Ray Bassett, and I'm signing out for now because Kim and I are going to get to work, and we're going to talk about our diet. We're going to talk about weight training, and then we're going to shake hands and call it a day. All right, Ray Bassett signing out. Thank you.